They're always working, always grinding, always on the go, but somehow still broke. Ever wonder how that makes sense? You've probably heard it 100 times. Stay busy, hustle hard, outwork everyone. But here's the truth. Being busy isn't the same as being successful, and it definitely isn't the same as being wealthy. In this video, we're breaking down the real cost of always being busy, not just in dollars, but in time, energy, relationships, and mental peace. And by the end, you'll see why slowing down might actually be the smartest financial move that you can make. You know that one person who's always running around, early mornings, late nights, answering emails during dinner, calls while walking? Sorry, I'm just really swamped right now. Yeah, that person. Maybe it's someone you know. Maybe it's you. And yet, despite all that motion, they're not moving forward. They're not living better. They're just exhausted. Let's talk about why. Let's start here. There's a massive difference between being busy and being effective. Productivity means doing the right things. Busyness, that just means doing a lot of things. In a study from Harvard Business Review, people who look busy are often seen as more important. But here's the catch. The same study found that over half of those tasks were low impact or non-essential, basically just noise. Another research project from Stanford showed something wild. Productivity drops sharply after 50 hours of work per week. After 55 hours, you're basically just staring at your screen pretending to work. You think you're killing it, but in reality, you're just tired and inefficient. So yeah, staying busy feels like progress. But in reality, it's like running on a treadmill and thinking that you're going somewhere. You're moving, but you're not advancing. Now let's talk about something more valuable than money. Time. Money comes and goes. Time? Once it's gone, it's gone. You don't get refunds on wasted time. If you spend your whole life working 70-hour work weeks just to someday enjoy life, spoiler alert, that someday might never come. The average American works about 8.8 hours a day. But according to a study by Rescue Time, they only get about 4 hours of actual focused work done. The rest is meetings, distractions, fatigue, and basically just pretending to be productive. And here's where it gets real. The cost of all that busy time isn't just burnout. It's the birthdays you missed, the memories you didn't make, the conversations you cut short because you had to get back to work. You're trading moments you'll never get back for meetings no one will remember. Let's blame the internet for a second. Instagram, TikTok, LinkedIn, everyone's posting quotes like, "Grind now, shine later," and "Sleep is for the weak." People show off their 5 a.m. wake-ups and back-to-back meetings like they're trophies. But here's the plot twist. Most of that's fake. A 2022 survey by Deloitte showed that nearly 77% of professionals say that they've experienced burnout at their current job. 77%. Yet those same people are still posting rise and grind selfies like they're out there crushing it. Why? Because hustle looks good on camera, but it doesn't feel good in real life. It's become a status symbol. Being busy is the new rich, even if you're emotionally, mentally, and physically broke. Now let's talk about dollars, because being busy can actually cost you money. Busy people tend to spend more money because they're always in a rush. They're more likely to order food delivery because they don't have time to cook. They skip workouts and their health takes a hit, which later becomes expensive medical bills. They rush decisions, investments, purchases, deals, which leads to expensive mistakes. They don't take time to step back and plan, so they're always reacting, never strategizing. Here's the truth. A busy person often lacks time to optimize. And optimization, not hustle, is where real wealth is built. Wealthy people aren't always grinding. They're building systems. They're hiring help, delegating, making intentional decisions that scale. True wealth isn't about how much you earn. It's about how well you manage your energy, your attention, and your decisions. Let's get into the part that nobody wants to talk about, the mental cost. Being always on comes with a heavy emotional tax. Constant multitasking actually shrinks your brain's gray matter, the part responsible for decision-making and emotional regulation. The long-term stress, it boosts your cortisol levels, which is linked to heart disease, anxiety, depression, and straight up brain fog. And here's something worse. You lose touch with yourself. You stop asking important questions like, do I like what I'm doing? Or am I growing? Or just surviving? When life becomes one endless to-do list, you forget why you started any of it in the first place. Now let's get even more real. Relationships. One of the biggest hidden costs of a busy lifestyle is what it does to the people that you care about. You're not trying to ignore your partner, but your mind's on Slack. You miss your kid's soccer game, again, because something urgent came up. Your friendships fade, not out of anger, but out of neglect. And slowly, the people in your life stop expecting you to show up. That's the cost of always being too busy. No amount of money can buy back broken trust or lost time with people you love. And here's the kicker. Society rewards the appearance of busyness. You say, I've been slammed lately. People nod with respect. You say, I've been relaxing and thinking. People look at you like you're slacking off. You've been conditioned to feel guilty for resting, which leads to the big question. If being busy isn't the answer, what is? Let's flip the script. What if we stop measuring success by how packed our schedule is? The people who are actually wealthy, and I don't just mean rich, they think differently. Warren Buffett, he spends 80% of his day reading and thinking, not scrambling.
I just read and read and read. I probably read 5 to 6 hours a day. I don't read as fast now as when I was younger, but I read 5 daily newspapers. I read a fair number of magazines. I read 10Ks. I read annual reports, and I read a lot of other things too. So I've always enjoyed reading. I love reading biographies, for example.
Bill Gates, he takes think weeks where he disappears just to read and strategize. Top CEOs pay assistants not just to book meetings, but to protect their focus. These people aren't rushing. They're protecting their most valuable asset, attention. So what can you do to move toward that mindset? First, audit your calendar. Look at your week. How much of it is filled with shoulds versus real high-impact actions? Cut the noise. Prioritize deep work. Protect your brain space. Second, build systems. Busy people chase tasks. Wealthy people build processes. Automate your bills. Batch your errands. Use templates. Free up mental bandwidth. Third, schedule rest like it's a meeting. Block time to not be productive. Take a walk with no goal. Read something just for fun. Sit in silence and think. It's not laziness, it's fuel. Lastly, redefine success. Instead of asking, how much did I get done today? Ask, did I move the needle? Did I enjoy anything? Did I feel present? That's the stuff that actually matters. Here's the truth that stings a little. A packed schedule isn't proof of success. It's often a mask for lack of clarity. People stay busy to avoid asking themselves the scary questions, like, am I in the right path? Do I even like this life I've built? If I stopped today, would anything really change? That's uncomfortable. It's easier to just keep going. Keep filling your days with stuff so that you never have to face the real stuff. But you can't fix what you don't face. And here's the good news. Once you stop idolizing busyness, you make space for what actually builds wealth. Clarity, focus, purpose, and rest. Being busy feels like you're winning, but it's often just a distraction dressed up as success. Real wealth, the kind that actually lasts, isn't about filling your time. It's about using it wisely. Stop chasing every task. Start choosing the right ones. Stop glorifying hustle. Start protecting your peace. Stop saying yes to everything. Start saying yes to what really matters. Because at the end of the day, no one looks back and says, I wish I'd answered more emails. If you're ready to actually level up, watch this next video. It'll change the way you see time and money forever. I'll see you there.